That was great.
Hi.
Hey.
Guys, welcome to another installment of Into the West Comics. New Comic Book Day edition. Sunny is here. I've got the guys at the table. Nice. We got the guys here at the table. We got a lot of new comic books to talk about this week. Marcus, what do you got over there?
Oh, man. Well, this was actually a hard week to...
I've got Envy right now checking out the Moonknight cover. I got a different Moonknight cover.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
we'll go ahead and start with that. We'll go ahead and start with that. So, issue 23... so it's entitled Venom and Moonknight, but it's actually the Moonknight book, and it's a team.
Dope.
Yeah, it's actually it's a team up book where, if you've been reading the issues prior, you'll know that there's a new nemesis who's basically learning how to control people via sound, so mind control, and take over people via sound, and so. The issue starts off with Dylan Brock, who is now Venom.
I love that.
Yeah, Dylan Brock is now the Venom, Eddie Brock's son. And he comes to the Moonknight mission asking for help from our boy Mark.
Interesting.
And it turns out that they, as they were talking, he was saying, oh, yeah, there's this guy basically who's, he's disturbing us, us meaning the symbiote, because, everyone, if you don't know, Venom is very sensitive to sound. So that's why he came. And it turns out they both were looking for the same guy. So they teamed up and they started searching, and a whole lot of badassery happens.
Nice.
And it was
Right,
really,
there we go.
Yes, it's an amazing. I was just telling the guys just before we came on, both Venom and Moonknight are very good team up characters.
I like that.
Anytime they cross over into something, it's pretty quality. I mean, even with Moonknight and Miss Marvel, that issue where it was a series of one shots that came out, and that was one of them where Moonknight teamed up with Miss Marvel to. And it was more along the lines. It was a similar type of nemesis, but it was a guy who was able to control nano technology.
Interesting.
And super good, super quality, a lot of fun. It's cool to see Dylan Brock, embrace his role. I didn't realize it's been a minute, but Eddie. I guess Eddie has passed away now.
I haven't read since.
no way.
Yeah, so I
haven't read any Venom since.
Donny Cates left it.
King in
not
Black.
even that. Yes,
King in
since
Black?
King in Black.
King in Black, yeah. So basically after Noel is defeated by Eddie becomes the King in Black.
Correct.
Essentially, and then Dylan takes his spot as the new Venom. Essentially, so now the story moving forward, we have Dylan, and I didn't realize, because I haven't read any of the newer Venom after the ending of the Donny Cates Stegman run, so I didn't realize that Eddie had passed away, or died, or was killed, or something. So I'll have to do some backtracking.
Seriously, I'm interested.
Yeah, it's really good. And then my second title, and it looks like we got a little overlap over here.
I brought a copy for Paul to check out.
I read
Okay.
it while we were chilling.
Donna DC, Cyborg. Victor Stone, yes, he has his own little self-titled book right now, and it's pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. It was, it's basically, you're kind of, it's good for new fans to kind of get into, and you start off with some good intro. He's in Detroit, and he's being basically that old Cyborg that we all know and love, the Booyah Cyborg from Teen Titans.
I love that.
So yeah, he's back. He's the Booyah Cyborg. Booyah. So he's he's fun loving and all that. There are some weighty areas in this book where he's like meeting with his therapist and things like that.
I just got to that.
But yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Yes. Yeah. Oh good. Sean, it was just like a.
That was perfect.
That was good. It was just like elementary school. It's a story time. It's elementary school. Yeah. Anyway, and not to give too much away, but there's a really, really good cliffhanger at the end that I really like.
I loved it. Yeah.
And it involves someone near and dear to his heart. And I'll leave it at that. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. I had to pick it because it was a surprise enjoyment. I didn't think I was going to like it.
To second Marcus, I read it while I was sitting on the couch over here.
Oh, I just.
And while I was reading it, I was like, yeah, this is cool. I don't know if I love the art. It's writing the line between hyper real and real a little bit.
Right.
I thought the story was okay. And then at the end, when the reveal happens, I legitimately was like, oh.
Yeah,
I was
right?
like, and it makes perfect sense, too,
Yeah.
because
Right.
it is something that this character would do.
Right. And I'm like,
And I was like, oh, I
see
really like
you.
that, yeah.
I see you. I see you.
I
Okay.
thoroughly enjoyed the ending
cool
to
review.
it. Yeah, it wrapped up very well.
I like that because I just watched the end of it while you were talking about it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It does make sense who it would be. You know what I mean? It does make sense.
Yeah, so those are my two.
Those are good.
Yeah, give an honorable mention also to like the Superman main title is really good right now. I think we're at issue 4 right now.
Yes.
That's really good. And also there was an indie comic that I was reading that just wrapped up. Oh, Flawed, which is an indie comic, which is basically like it's a female therapist who's like, it's almost like Punisher meets, I don't know, some sort of therapist you could meet. I don't know, but yeah, it's really good.
I like that.
Yeah. But anyway,
Thumbs up for both of those for sure.
So today I'm going to talk about our good friend Philip Kennedy Johnson's run on Action Comics since we last visited it on the Warworld saga, which wrapped up. Then there was the Return of Kal-El little storyline, which was more or less just him coming home and everyone getting settled, and the Philosians from Warworld, which are like people from ancient Krypton, so they're Kryptonians as well.
Interesting.
So you have the two twins from Warworld that came back with him. You have the colony that came back with him from Warworld. Then you have Connor Kent. You have John Kent. And you have Steel and the other cast of Superman
That's
characters.
what was really cool to see in there. I was like, oh, that's
And
interesting.
it's super fun to see them all together.
yeah.
And the storyline starts with Metallo is back, and he is being controlled by Lex Luthor. And you think that's who's sending him out. And there's the, I can't remember the term that Philip uses to call the people taken over by Metallo. It's like nano something. It's really cool, and they're super dope to watch them fight the Philosians. And obviously, the people on Earth are like, well, we don't know about this little war world colony. And as soon as stuff starts going haywire, they're like, oh man, they are bad, and this is what's happening to us. But as the run progresses, the thing that Philip described to us on the live show with the big, like almost cybernetic, like plasma Superman that comes and takes out Metallo. When he was explaining to us, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. But the other thing he was talking about sounded a little cooler that he wasn't able to do. Reading it and watching it happen was so much cooler than I thought it was going to be. It's this big blue, like electrical looking Superman that just clocks Metallo and knocks him out. He's like, Kryptonite doesn't have the same effect on me anymore because of the Genesis stuff from Warworld. It's just not the same. And you don't have the same advantage over me. Come to find out, Metallo is being used because his sister has been taken. They thought it was Luthor. It's not, because Luthor is doing things in the Superman main title run with Williamson. So it's not Luthor. And they come to find out that it is Hank Henshaw. It is the cyborg Superman who is in the Phantom Zone, who is controlling past bodies of himself from the Phantom Zone.
Wow.
That's pretty dope.
And he is doing that.
That's pretty dope.
The way they don't know where Cyborg is, Superman, of course, is like, Metallo, you're going to pay for your crimes, but we're going to find your sister because she should not have to pay for what you had to do. And Metallo's like, I'm going to help you. Okay. They go with the twins and Connor Kent, who plays a pretty big part in the story. That's pretty cool. He doesn't get a lot of love. But the way they find where Cyborg is, Lois is like, don't do it. Don't take him out. There is a version of the Eradicator in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah,
and the Eradicator
so
can sense Kryptonian DNA and the muddling of it and so on and so forth. So they pull him out. And the first thing the Eradicator says to Superman is, John standing behind him, he's like, can I kill him? Because he's half human, half Kryptonian, and that's not right. and Superman's like, relax. Superman's like, relax. There's stolen Kryptonian tech. Henshaw has it. We don't know where he is. Can you help us find it? Because you need to stamp that out.
Yeah.
And Eradicator's like, yeah. And so they find...
He's like, I guess.
They find Henshaw. Henshaw is as cool and as just awesome as the cyborg Superman always is. And he has imbued Metallo's sister with the Genesis ability and the powers he was giving to Metallo. And she is still like, help me. I can't stop him from doing it. But she's super powered enough to fight her now. And that's where this one leaves off. And... he continues to just use characters who are not always used. He's not using the crutch of Luthor or Doomsday or any of the other all the time, Superman villains.
Right.
And it's just so cool to watch and read. And he just continues to understand the character at a level that most Superman writers don't. Of course, after defeating Metallo, Superman's going to be like, we're going to help you find your sister. You're going to pay for what you did, but we're going to help you find her. And there's a part in the story where they're walking through, and Metallo had tried to kill one of the twins earlier, but one of the twins gets grabbed by Cyborg Superman's like cybernetic like kind of home that he's in, and the Metallo stomps it out and saves her, and she's like, stay away from me. And Metallo's like, I get it. I would be upset too. I hope one day when I pay for my crimes, I can come and help people the way that you're helping me right now.
A little redemption.
And so you see the kind of love and care that Superman has go into other characters.
Yeah.
Because Metallo the whole time when he's fighting him and gets knocked back by that big like plasma thing, he's like, so you're going to kill me? And Superman's like, no. That was never an option.
Relax,
but it just
dude.
continues to be awesome. The Steve Beach covers are dope.
Yeah.
Rafa Sandoval, who took over the art after the Warworld saga with Federici and Samper and all the great artists on that, he's dope.
Right.
He draws a dope Superman and a dope Cyborg Superman, and I think you guys should catch up on this and read this if you have not.
Yeah.
I've got him. I just need to catch up.
It's dope.
You know,
Thumbs up, man.
some good references and mentions for DC is we're right in the middle of the dawn of the DC. It's going to be basically going on this entire year. They seem to be taking a little bit of a timeout or a break, I guess you could say. The crossover event that's going to be going on, Sunny, for most of July and August for DC Comics is called Night Terrors.
Looks super cool.
It's a lot of horror themes tying into all of the books. A lot of your ongoing series in DC continuity will be taking like a 2-month break. They'll be putting out some annuals and stuff like that, but they'll be kind of like pausing everything that's going on with like the current writers and they're doing in that they have on a lot of these titles. So a lot of characters that you see like one-offs, like Punchline, Ravager, they'll be having some spin-offs that involve this storyline. There's a lot of tie-ins and a lot of 1 and 2 issue things. So I guess for the main story for Night Terrors, Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong, they're going to be doing the first 2 parts in July. They're going to do the final 2 parts in August. And it's just everything is kind of like swept up in like a horror type of theme. Everybody's being haunted. All of your main DC characters and their continuity, all of the titles will be sort of taken over for a couple of months in this big horror theme that'll be going on over the summer for 2 months. I'm excited. There's going to be some stuff that I pick up. I don't know if I'm going to pick up. I mean, I'm probably going to pick up most of them. But there's a lot of tie-ins and a lot of it sounds pretty cool.
It does.
I might wait for a trade.
Yeah.
I think for the main story, I might. There's a couple that stuck out to me that I'm kind of interested in. Yeah, and the stuff is like if it's not like main DC continuity, some of the miniseries and stuff that've been going on, they're just going to be continuing like Cyborg, Vigil, those kind of books. Those City Boy, we're talking about City Boy. City Boy was really good.
Yeah. Honorable mention to that one too. That was pretty decent.
Super cool character design.
I'll bring that for
Please
you
do,
next
I'm
week
interested
to
in
check that out.
That sounds
I
cool.
wanted to mention some stuff as not supers. You know, we try to give you some options. That's away from the capes. One of them is a North Valley Grimoire. It's Blake Northcutt and Sean Murphy. Give you a little background about
Sean
Blake.
Murphy's dope.
Sean Murphy's art is incredible. He's ridiculous. Blake Northcutt wrote a sci-fi series like it's 9 or 10 years ago. It still stands as one of like the fastest funded Kickstarter events for a sci-fi book to be written.
That's really cool.
He wrote a book called Arena Mode. It has like superheroes. It's kind of like in that tone of like The Boys. Instead of superpowered beings helping people, they fight each other. They have like a tournament where they battle like in an arena.
I like that.
So
I like that.
that's kind of this now.
superhero Mortal Kombat.
He's writing this series.
I said Baki.
It is. I'll just show you the covers of the Sean Murphy covers.
Oh, looks good.
It's really cool. Sean Murphy there is trying to get glare off there.
Looks like
it's
like Archer.
It's 007. I'm going to do the comparison.
It looks like
it's
007.
007 meets The Craft because there's magic and stuff tied into it, mixed in with some spy stuff there. It's a really cool story. The other one, again, I want to give you guys options, and not just about the capes, even though I love the capes. This one is called Catfight. I know that Sonny is going to freak out when he sees this one. Okay.
Oh my god.
Catfight is Kill Bill and John Wick and cats. and kitty cats. Okay, so I know you're interested in seeing that. That's that one's there for you. And then everybody's been talking about this Amazing Spider-Man number 26 came out yesterday as well. You know that it's the rumored death. We can confirm. We read it. It's the rumored death of Miss Kamala Khan. A little bit controversial right now. There's a little bit of backlash and stuff going on.
There?
The story is good. Marcus knows I kind of gave up on Amazing Spider-Man when Nick Spencer was kind of like stuck in the Craven story, the Hunteds. The storyline was really cool, and then I kind of lost interest after that. And I've always, you guys know, I've always been an Amazing Spider-Man reader for like a long time, and I bailed, and I never caught on when Zeb Wells took over for Amazing Spider-Man, and I've heard. Good and bad with it. So, but I mean, I've been gravitating more towards the Miles Morales run that was going with Ziegler. That's been great.
Issue 6.
The thing that I have to say about the Kamala Khan thing is the people who are outraged about it are the people who saw the text blurb on Twitter that don't actually read comics.
Yes.
Everyone who actually reads comics knows she will be back in 2 months.
I wasn't outraged at all. I read it. I was like, all right.
For those and me who have missed, what happened?
Frank could probably, or Marcus could probably.
It's basically the rumored death of Kamala Khan.
And there's a lot of people that are upset.
Yeah, because
they killed her off.
She's just now getting some sort of recognition.
Yeah.
And so now it's people are upset about it, and they're also thinking that this is kind of typical of what happens when they're always in the comic book industry. They're always sacrificing the female characters out of the refrigerator or freezering or whatever. Simone, she kind of coined that term. Gail Simone.
For fridging, for those of you that don't know, Kyle Rayner, the Green Lantern that took over for Hal Jordan, his inspiration to be a hero is he leaves his apartment one night and he comes back and his girlfriend is dead and stuffed in the fridge. And that is where the term fridging comes from.
And so basically what it is you're basically pushing a story of a lead male at the expense of a female character.
Yes, exactly.
Like the death of Gwen Stacy, that kind of thing. You're pushing his story, Peter Parker's story, forward at the
expense of the other. Okay.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
So they're seeing this and they're saying, oh, it's typical. The two people who.
What I think is going to happen, Paul, is that they are trying to create this buzz. Because when we get into November, they're probably going to announce that there's a new Ms. Marvel series.
Right.
It'll be tied in right when the movie comes out.
Right.
A month before.
I think it's less like
That's
when
what I think.
Gwen Stacy and Kyle Rayner's girlfriend died, and more like when Superman died in the 90s.
Sure.
Superman wasn't going to stay dead.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
of course.
When Captain America died at the end of Civil War,
Yeah, you're like,
he wasn't going to
come
stay
on.
dead.
Right.
It's to get you to go and flood back and buy those issues when that flagship character comes back.
Yeah.
I agree with Frank. Whenever Miss Marvel's or the Marvels is coming out,
There
there will be a new comic introduced with her.
The movie comes out the second week of November. The comic will probably come out at the end of October.
Yeah.
I would probably bet on that. We don't know for solicits. I mean, the stuff that will become like September, October will be solicited like in July, August.
Okay.
So we'd probably know by then because they usually solicit everything like 3 months ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to mention really quick. We talked about Whatnot Publishing. They're going to be publishing the Sean Murphy and Blake Northcutt Spy, 007 The Craft, the series, that mashup, right?
The Exiled as well.
Exiles is great.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes is
The
coming.
North Valley Grimoire.
Oh, okay.
Whatnot Publishing is also
no
going to be
taxes
putting
allowed.
out a series with our friends over there, up there in the great Pacific Northwest.
Crash Down.
Crashdown is going to be on FOC on Monday, June 5th. So if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you get down to your LCS, put your name down for that, order a couple of the copies. They've got a really cool David Mack cover. And dude, it's I'll show you later. Yeah, There's good stuff.
For those watching who may not just like they are friends with us or fans of the show and are not big comic book readers, FOC stands for Final Order Cutoff. So if you want to get your order in and pre-order one of those and have one set aside for you, Monday,
go
do
do
it
that.
Monday.
Yeah, that is the deadline.
Go do it.
Because that's basically the deadline that the distributors give the retailers
To send them the books.
to say, hey, how many do you want to order? So I can let Marvel know, I can let DC know how many.
It's doing like July 5th. I think it's going to be coming out. I'm just telling you guys now, I'll be getting copies of stuff, and we will be doing some type of giveaway for those books when it comes out that week. Absolutely. When we do that week when it comes out in the comic shop. And we'll probably have them on again like shortly before or after that.
Yep.
So I'm excited for it. Really happy for them. It's cool to talk to somebody who's be putting out their own comic book. That's like crazy.
Super cool.
Yeah. Sonny, you got anything for the guys?
Follow on all of the networks.
All the networks, yeah. Follow us on Disney Plus.
Tests are hard for me right now too because I'm
I saw that. I'm like, I like that. No, if you can't if you can't watch, go ahead and listen. Apple Music, Google Podcasts, and Spotify.
Yes, sir.
That's the one.
Period.
Marcus, you got anything?
Hey. I had something, and then Shane just distracted me with his laughing.
He does that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey guys, read comics. There's still some great material out there. I'm starting to get back into the indie side more or less because I've been kind of catching up with all of the DC and trying to stay on top of that as much as possible, as well as my hardcovers that I've already collected. But yeah. Also I wanted to give an honorable mention to our friend Philip Kennedy Johnson for his 007 run. It is absolutely fabulous. Yeah. I kind of had to catch up. I was 2 issues behind on the first arc of his story. So I took the Memorial Day weekend some time to catch up on that, and it's amazing. So be sure to check that out as well. Great. Dynamite, yeah.
You got some?
Be ready for Crashdown next month, and be ready for The Incredible Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson in the middle of the month.
June 21st.
We'll have him
that's
back
gonna
on
be
the
crazy.
show.
That's
if
gonna be
not
so
the
dope.
week it comes out, the week after, he'll be back on the show. I just gotta hit him up, see what time he can come on, and keep your eye out. Content coming like crazy.
We were at the Front Row card show this weekend. Marcus and I checked that out. That was a really good time. Got to see a lot of people. Saw the Sin City comic guys. Yeah. Saw a lot of the local comic shops are represented.
Comics,
Shimpson's over there.
Pudgy Pup, what's up?
Pudgy Pup. Yeah, that was.
Shout out to you guys.
Those are cool guys. It was a good show. It was fun.
It was fun.
You're a good show. A lot of stuff. You are a good show.
You're a good show,
guys. We have our suggestions, but go ahead and let us know what you're reading. Tell us. We're just giving us suggestions. We're not saying they're the right picks. They're just our picks. So you guys let us know what you're reading, and we'll be talking to you in the coming weeks. We're excited for it. Go to your comic book shop. Go read some comics, and go watch Spider-Verse.
Yes.
And go watch Little Mermaid.
Don't fall on your face.
And don't fall on your face.
If anybody's wondering, he busted his lip open and he has a lisp.
I do. Later, y'all.
Still cute though.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Have a good night, you guys. See you next week.
Quan was laughing at the way I drank my water.
Because he thought water was going to fall out of your mouth from the thing. You know what I'm saying?